So I opened up my phone and I'm listening and I'm like, what? What happened? So I knew it was about Jack and Lilly Sullivan's case, but it didn't seem like it was directly connected. So I went ahead and did some confirmation, and it is now being confirmed by Nova Scotia's newspapers as well as the Global Mail. And I'm going to show that all to you that Mr. Daniel Martel was arrested this past Monday at 11:30 a.m. with charges regarding an adult female. And rumor has it that it's not his ex, his recent ex. Is it Malaya? I don't know. But when you hear the charges now, remember, he's not guilty yet. He's just been charged with it. All right? It is getting kind of repetitive hearing about, how his stepchildren, or his real children, forgive me, his real children said that he was mean to Jack and Lilly. Here comes that truth train. Welcome to 1111 Truth Train. True crime, right? This is absolutely shocking that we actually are seeing some movement. It's not directly related to, the charges are not directly related to anything to do with Jack and Lilly. But what is going on here with Mr. Daniel? We just got done with the whole thing where not but a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, when they did that last search of the property, he was all like, well, it was heartbreaking and disappointing, but they point blank came out and said, meaning the RCMP searcher, we feel you had, something to do with the kids Thursday going into Friday morning. And so we were all like, we know now that there's a difference between lack of evidence and innocence. And we're going to get into that. I'm also going to share with you parts of the article here. I'm sure you've probably already heard it, but if you haven't, we will go over it. But before we do, and before I come over and say hello to everybody, I want to talk about Thomas Medlin. He is a 15-year-old, and he is missing. And it's a very confusing case, but he's only 15. It's from the New York area, and I had planned to do a live on that today. But this is something where we've got to talk about Daniel Martel. This young man has, Thomas Medlin, he comes from a privileged background, very solidly. They travel the world and do all kinds of amazing things. He's only 15. He's in prep school for college. The parent was talking, the mother, and I feel so bad for the parents, truly. So he left school on Friday. Guess he took a train. Last thing the police have is that his phone shuts off, or is no longer pinging at 7:09, and they know he entered the bridge at 7:06, and they don't have him coming off the bridge. There's a whole Roblox game that the parents are bringing up, that friends have suggested. So we're going to get into all the details tomorrow. Hopefully I won't have to. Hopefully he's found safe. But if he is not, we will jump into that tomorrow. And man, there's something just right there. But it's not yet figured out. And so I hope you'll help me spread some awareness for Thomas Medlin. So today we're going to be talking about Jack and Lilly. Let me say hello to a few people. Hey Judy, how are you? Ms. Buzz Driver, welcome back. Hey Zozo, one of my beautiful mods. Nick UK, Jennifer Swain, Kyla Burjohn. Is Debbie here? I haven't seen Debbie. I owe her something this week, and I promised. I'm doing it. I don't know. I don't see Debbie right this minute. Hopefully she'll show back up. Yeah, so what are you guys feeling right now? Yes, Roblox is full of pedos. Hey Lisa, hi Cindy Clark. So let's talk about this whole thing. Let's go over here on the widescreen. Yes, arrested. So it's so alarming what these charges are, y'all. Okay, let's just break it down. Stepfather of missing Nova Scotia children. Now I'm reading opposite than the screen. I should flip that, but should I do it now? Let me see if I could do it now, just so I don't look backwards. Let's see what happens if we go way small and am I upside down? Ha! We are learning every day together. All right, lovely family. Let's do this. Okay. This is dated January 29th, 2026. That is exactly the date. This says 12:59 p.m. This is the Nova Scotia Breaking News. And it is 2:39 p.m. for me, where I am. So, not that long ago. Let's take a good look there at Daniel. I think this is the beginning of the truth being shown. Daniel Martel, the stepfather of 2 Nova Scotia children who disappeared nearly 9 months ago, has been charged with sexual assault, and forcible confinement. CBC News has learned Nova Scotia RCMP confirmed that Martel was arrested on Monday and is facing 3 charges involving adult complainant. Remember, it is absolutely an adult, y'all. In this case, Martel is due in Pictou Provincial Court on March 2nd. Martel, 34, was living with Lilly and Jack Sullivan and their mother at the time of their disappearance from his family home in Lansdowne, Nova Scotia, last May. Lilly, 6, and Jack, then 4, now 5, were reported missing on May 2nd of 2025, with their mother calling 911. Search and rescue teams spent days combing through the thick woods that surrounded the rural home in the sparsely populated community of Lansdowne, but the extensive grid search turned up little evidence apart from a pink blanket and a child-sized boot print. Since then, authorities have brought in cadaver dogs, conducted 75 interviews, and several polygraph examinations, including 1,066 tips and 8,000 video files, and have assigned RCMP units from multiple provinces to investigate the case. The children's disappearance has fueled widespread speculation and accusations online amid international media attention. But RCMP Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon said earlier this month that none of the children's family members were suspects in the disappearance. I wouldn't say anybody's a suspect, said McCammon, the officer in charge of major crime and behavioral sciences. We continue to gather information. Oh, I'm sure they were and are. Whatever evidence that we are able to find, and we'll make our decisions based on that. Thank you, Allie Thompson, for an article. All right, y'all, listen. The charges are forcible confinement. That's like kidnapping, ain't it? Anybody else find that alarming? I mean, think about the wrench in the door. Was it really to keep a bear out? Or was it that the bear put the wrench in the door? That's right, Cindy Clark. Let me grab my mouse. Let's go ahead and pin you. Let's make chat bigger. It's like so tiny I can't see it. Okay, what one is it? Not that one. Let's do this one. Go. It's an adult that's telling you, I want out, I'm trying to leave. Abduction. It's not being afraid to, and I'm not saying he did it, I'm just saying this is the charge. The charge itself, in a way, in a lot of ways, in a big way, in my humble opinion, is suggesting that you are basically detaining someone in a manner of kidnapping them. You do not want them free. You want them held. You're going to hold on to them. Then it's 2 separate assault charges, you guys. One of them, and I hate to do this because it always upsets everybody, but in the beginning of the case, I got a tip that not only did they find a water bottle and a sock and a shiny star, but they also, and it got hushed, they had found some undies with some BLOOD. They just got done taking Daniel's blood DNA to compare it to what? Do you wonder? Okay. Next, his charges are SA and assault. So forcibly holding somebody, assaulting them, and raping. Then you think back, and allegedly, this has nothing to do with his recent ex, allegedly, according to the YouTube rumors that are almost always right. When it gets buzzing like that, you know, somebody got the leaked info. Could be wrong. This is just wild. Let me clear this other thing up so I can see what you're saying. Nina says forcible and confinement plus forcible confinement defense lawyers in Toronto. Ontario, forcible confinement is a serious criminal offense involving the unlawful intentional restriction of a person's liberty, including taking someone's phone. If they're trying to call for help and you hold them down and you take their phone, I'm not saying it's Malaya. I'm not saying it's not Malaya. Yep, Miss Bus Driver says Dumbbell was arrested Monday. Kimberly Brummett says, hello, best news. I hope the other parents are watching this. Just so everybody realizes there is no direct connection. I do not want anybody misunderstanding. There is no direct connection between this charge or these 3 charges. There's no direct connection to Jack and Lily in the books. And he's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But my gracious. So remember the text between the recent ex and the RAPE word? And now we have a charge on the book of SA of an adult. If it's not the same person, that'll even look worse. The fact that there's an actual charge of it occurring, and there's a text where he's suggesting he's going to, is absolutely startlingly alarming. Because now we don't know the context of when this was alleged to have occurred. But either way, if that was alleged to have occurred, that text to the ex after this other thing occurred, then this is much more serious of a threat. Especially if it's different people too. Or even not especially, just no matter what. However, if it came after, let's say the ex got this text message about this RAPE, and now we have a charge, if this turns out to be true, then we have premeditation of fantasy land that he fulfilled. And then you have to ask yourself, what all fantasies was going around this boy's head? I don't know. So, he is being detained. Okay, he was detained, then released with conditions. I don't know what that means. What's conditions mean? Maybe it means ankle bracelet. Maybe it means you can't leave the house. You can't go off the property. You can't leave the county. You can't leave whatever. I don't know. Bunnied Up says hearts for Lily and Jack. Hearts for little Jack and Lily. And justice for these babies. It's coming. It's coming. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow, Miss Bus Driver. We'll pull some cards. I just was so taken back by this. I needed a moment to just be like, huh. Things that make you go, huh? Things that make you go, what? You should see me trying to get a hold of Jennifer Swain. I was like, baby, 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 baby. That's an old-timey phone, right? No, I was like, meek. That's now. But I'm giving away my age. I was like, beep, 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 beep. Pull the cord, wrap it around your elbow because you got something good to say and you want to be able to walk around the house with your long corded phone, right? You got to knock people off the party line. This is important. I need the phone. Thank you, guys. Yeah, share your casserole another time. Party line. Remember party line? Real thing. Hey, Storm 47,000. Sarah, the charges are for an assault of an adult. Let me say it one more time. I get you. I get you. We all want to understand this better. This is unrelated charges from the Jack and Lily case. It is not related to that. It is of a female. I don't even want to say female. It's for SA, but we don't know that it's a female. I'm sorry I'm giggling, but you know what I'm saying. This is an SA charge. Could be a male. Knowing Daniel, he likes to control the weak. It wouldn't matter. I shouldn't even say any of this. I'm just going to leave it alone. Lord help me, forgive me for all that. Okay. Woosah. If these charges are true, it's going to change everything. Everything in this case of Jack and Lily. But right now, it is unrelated. It is simply a female. I'm going to go with female, y'all. It's a victim alleging that Daniel assaulted them, essayed them, and forcibly confined them are the charges. Doesn't mean he did it for legal purposes. He is innocent or presumed innocent in a court of law until otherwise proven so. We're not a court of law. We're the general public. We know the case history. We're entitled to our opinion. Does this look good for Daniel? Oh gosh, no. Oh no. One way or another, the RCMP's gonna get ya. Maybe one day, maybe next week, they're coming for ya. Buckle up, Buttercup. You live that life, Jenny. Hey, Tress, welcome back. Lick the fringe. Wrench over the door, strange behavior. Think of the twist he put on the wrench on the door thing. Was afraid of them bear, but there really are bear. He really got a video of a bear. So he's always got a cover story. But it's kind of like if Daniel baked a pie, the top part would actually be chocolate with that beautiful meringue on the top. Chocolate pudding type pie with meringue on the top. But as soon as you cut deep enough and you get your slice, you realize it's cow crap on the bottom half. That ain't chocolate you're being served. That you're being load up your boots, get them on, hip boots, because you got to wade. Because he's always got a cover story for everything. Has anybody in their right mind ever went out and told all of this kind of stuff out there and not been guilty in these cases? I mean, it's so disturbing. Like, okay, how many automobile accidents has this man actually occurred? And what's even more concerning is, did he actually wreck the original vehicle that he went on the Drunk Turkey show and told that Daniel that the RCMP had never inspected his vehicle that he had at the time. And we know that he also said in another live that his vehicle wasn't in question because it was parked over Earl's up on blocks because it was broken. Yet we got Brad Wu and the other neighbor. I can't remember his name. Was it Justin? Anyway, we got this guy over here talking to Brad Wu, two different neighbors that are claiming that they heard Daniel's car running around at night between midnight to 1 o'clock in the morning till 5. We've got the RCMP saying, well, Daniel, we think you did something, went down here on Thursday night into Friday morning. Same time as Brad Wu and the neighbor are saying. Then you got the news, the media twisting crap, right? Because really, I want to bring you this. It's being misconstrued that stating that there's no evidence suggests that it didn't happen. So let me clear that up for you. Let's say we have chocolate chip cookies in my kitchen and I have a camera in there. The chocolate chip cookies are gone in the morning. The investigator is asked, is there any evidence anyone took the chocolate chip cookies? He has to say no if he doesn't have the evidence to prove it. Even though the chocolate chip cookies are gone and he suspects somebody took them because those things ain't got legs. They didn't walk out of there. Someone went and got them, but the camera isn't working. His response is then, we have no evidence to support that at this time. Does it mean there's no evidence at all? No. Does it mean that nobody went in and got the chocolate chip cookies? No. It means we don't have anything in our hands right now to prove that in a court of law. Doesn't mean that it's refuted what is being said on the online. It's not. The media uses the words, RCMP refuted the stepfather of Jack and Lily left his house. No, they did not refute it. They never said this did not happen. They said we have the lack of evidence to support this thing. And so we need to quit assuming that the lack of evidence is actually that something didn't occur. Oh, there's no evidence of the kids going this direction, but there's a boot over here. A boot print over here. Well, what if we find out that all these searches that are over here on this boot, what if we find out that kids were actually taken in the opposite way and that this is what's called a red herring, a distraction by, somebody that as big as Daniel's brain is of ego, somewhere there's a little pocket of common sense that he's going to distract them by putting a boot print over there and throw a blanket in a tree or Malaya or someone, and that the kids aren't the other direction. We can't assume that. These kids could have been taken absolutely the opposite way. I've begun to wonder, with Janie having the rake and shovel, okay, because you have to dig up the dirt a little bit with a shovel before you rake it to fill in a pothole. So she may have had a shovel. We've got all those bins there. What happened in that driveway where she felt like she needed to change that dirt out? And all these little running around from 1 to 5 a.m., maybe one of them trips may have been of to, let's just say, move the children. What if all those other little trips where he's up to his waist in water is to simply dump out the gravel out of the bags so that all the evidence is out there? Then stamp it with a boot. Then put the boots that you use to stamp all this, Lily's boot over there and Jack's boot over here, into Janie's cabin there, her little Breaking Bad thing. And then maybe, I don't know, get a really bad dog that it's not even yours, but nobody knows. Put them in there so that ain't nobody going in until they go get a search warrant. By then, you got time to be like, get rid of them boots, all this crap, blah, blah, blah. get the dog out of there. So now they come back. You've got a little bitty dog because they never really saw the dog. You got a little bitty dog now, and you can search the whole place 10 times. But on the first day, you're going to be yelling at Malaya, don't let him in my camper, no matter what. Being threatened for impeding investigation. When the kids are missing, she don't want them in there because of a dog. Ma'am, you should be able to control your dog enough to walk it out to a car and lock it in a car for a few minutes while we search for missing children. If you can't control the dog to be able to walk it to a car safely, then there's a big, big problem, Granny. Just saying. So something's gone down. Tress says he had Thursday late afternoon till early Friday. He had a lot of time. Trisha, you just joined now to catch up. Daniel has been arrested unrelated to Jack and Lily's case. However, the charges are just charges, but they are horrible. So it's SA, and this is of an adult, okay? SA, assault, and forced confinement. He was released with conditions, and he appears, I believe, March 2nd in court. So that's where we are. Bonnie Dutt says when in jail he will miss his rugs. He will be climbing the walls. He's going to be peeing in a cup for a long time, and even maybe hair tests and all kinds of stuff. Big problem, Granny. She ain't going to be doing no TMU if that's found out to be true, if she was an accessory. Especially if any of this lies comes out. Thank you, Nikki UK. Liam in the house. Or this could be a sign that she got the kids out of the home and they are alive, and why she buggered off too. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, certainly, sir. Cindy Clark, truth. 3 adults on property at the time of this investigation. Janie is the owner of the property. Won't be long till other 2 are arrested, in your opinion. You could be right. I think this is like the day that we're waiting for that carpet to start slowly unraveling the rug beneath all the lies that they're telling, and just pile it all on the floor for all to see. It's coming. It's coming. Linda says, oh no, I just got on. Can someone give me a quick synopsis? Daniel, well, I need to have recorded it. Daniel got arrested on Monday, 11:30 a.m., unrelated charges to Jack and Lilly Sullivan, Daniel Martel. It is severe charges, very serious, and it is against an adult. So we have an alleged adult victim, alleged. These are charges. He has not been found guilty. This is what he was charged on. Assault, SA, and forced confinement, okay? He's been released with conditions. We don't know what the conditions are. And there you go. My babies are my ones. Hello, lovely. You say it's about time. It's about time. Indeed, indeed. Hey, Allison. Hey, Jen Jen. Yeah, it could all come to light now. I'm just saying, everything I've been feeling and thinking in this case is Daniel. There's no reason for the way he has behaved. None. There's something there to him and Janie. And that driveway, I feel, is going to play a big part. That's the pivotal part in the case that I can't get over. So much happened. Think of that whole property. We don't hear anything about any other locations, really. We hear about Malaya standing right near that place in the driveway when she called 911. We hear that's where the boot print from Jack was found. We hear that's the place that Janie was raking that night, smoothing out gravel. We don't know Brookie Cookie Butterfly. Got it. Can I call you Brookie Cookie? Brookie Cookie, are these charges related to Malaya previous statement or someone else? Confused. Me too. We don't know. We do not know. But I am concerned that it could be. Because think on this. Malaya has come straight out many times and on the RCMP record stating from the very beginning that she was held down forcibly and her phone was taken away and she was not allowed to use her phone, which could be considered restricting somebody's, well-being, especially if she said, I was trying to get help. Okay? So could it be, Malaya, that holding someone down, taking their phone, that's definitely a sense of you're holding them down, so you're not letting them go, right? So that could be that forcible confinement, SA. Maybe perhaps that's why she was calling for help, because she said no. I don't know. There could be so much going on just swimming behind the scenes. Someone has been talking. I agree with you, Jennifer. I agree. Maybe he will sing on someone else about the kids for a plea agreement. Tressa Somalia was saying truths about him taking her phone and holding her down. We don't know because it's charges right now. It doesn't mean he's been found guilty yet. Jenny, you're going to get the goat. All right, for those of you that it's late at night, I'm going to make a very loud sound. This is your trigger warning. Mute your TV. Incoming, incoming, incoming. All right? Jenny Bill says, I know. I end my long days raking gravel. That's too funny. Jennyville, I was thinking we'll go for a swim and we'll do some fun stuff. And then, yeah, I was thinking if you want to hang out later, I've got a couple shovels and rakes. We could just rake the driveway at night in the dark. I got a pothole. That is a bit strange, right? That's right. Confinement explains why she fled, says Linda. Hey, Marlene. Just heard the news. Boom, boom. Let's do the goats. All right, again, mute. Ready, get ready. You're getting a double shot because I'm telling you, this is the beginning of justice, I hope. I think it is. I think it is. I think this is the beginning of the truth, right? Boy, I am so glad I have held true to me. What do I mean by that, you guys? Well, I just can't get close to these people and be like, let's be friends and I'll question you and broadcast you and support you on live TV. Because I'm always the one going, this guy is sus as fudge. Sus as Christmas fudge. And so this whole time I've been over here going, no, nay, he ain't good. That ain't a good boy. I mean, this is not looking good for him. So for me, this is a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Here we go, guys. Double whammy. Stereo. Sounds amazing, Danielle. Head right up. Well, Right Storm has a history of domestic abuse, allegedly. He's the one that told us his own children, older children, said that he was mean and did things, bad things, I guess, to Lily and Jack. Right, Jennifer Swain. I rake, y'all, I rake Gretel every night. Can you tell how I'm lying, right? No, I rake my yard every night. At night. I only rake at night. That's so weird. Ah, my ear said create a sign. Hello, lovely. Perfect timing. His first impression wasn't good for me either. He can't do any impressions. He waved his hands at one time and it was like, oh Lord. You know what Daniel reminded me of in the interview where he found his arms? You know, there's only one interview where he's like doing his little landing the helicopters because he's super Daniel, right? He really reminded me of the one of those windsocks that are giant and they're in front of businesses and they flap all over in the wind. They're like this, you know? And they're like, you know, that's what he looked like in the interview to me. And if you're just tuning in, that was just for you to wonder, what are we doing? Wondering what JM is thinking right now. Oh, Daniel. This is what Janie is thinking right now, in my humble opinion. Now, I've done my impressions. I know Justin does his own impression, Janie. I have a different impression. I've had it forever. If you've been with me over a hot minute, you know. But this is what I think this is happening. I think Janie got that one phone call from Daniel in the jail, right? Ma? Yeah, I just got arrested. It's 11:30. It's Monday. Call me back. Daniel? Daniel, pick up. I had to put my TMU down. I don't know what's going on. What did you do? Is this all true? Who'd you hurt this time? That's what I think she's going through. Unless she's got enough sense to keep her mouth shut, because they are recording the jail cell that he got out with conditions. I don't know, y'all. This is just wild. Martel, 34, was living with Lilly and Jack Sullivan, their mother, at the time of their disappearance. Y'all, let's go over here for a minute. I'm just going to ask you one more time, because you know me. You know me, I haven't let this go from the beginning because I feel something's off. I want you to look at this picture right here of Lilly. Do you see the bruising or you don't? I'm not going to even point it out. I'm just going to tell you, look at her thighs and look at one thigh versus the other. Take a good look at her thighs. From the very get-go, I have asked, is that a large adult, no, not large, but a full-size adult knee placed on the inside of that child's thigh that's bruised her? And I know everybody's like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about that. Y'all, this man is charged with SA of an adult female. Okay? He also was messaging his ex-girlfriend about graping. I know, Prime. I hate what those bruises could mean too. But do the children not deserve some truth? That there are bizarre bruises on these children? Let me come up to topside. This made me so mad. I was watching somebody's channel, and they had a picture of Jack and of Lilly together, and they flipped through half a dozen of them, and I was looking at their little lips. Talk about cracked and bleeding lips. I don't know about you, but if I get one crack in my lip, it's sore, like hurts. And so that's why even on live, I'm constantly putting stuff on because that hurts. One little crack in your lip. But you know what I get it from the most? Is a nervous behavior because I lick my lips. Number 2, I don't drink enough water. So when these children are allegedly going to go with anybody, anyone that, according to Daniel and the mother, both stated, offer them food or water. There's way more to the story of Jack and Lilly than most people are talking about. Because your lips don't get that cracked simply because you're licking them. not that chapped. Usually if the child is licking them and that's the reason, because I used to, be a special needs teacher in my early 20s, all the little kids that had the habit of licking, right, will get this red, raw chin right here. These kids don't have that. All they have is the cracked lips. It's a form of dehydration. And I'm a med tech. I've been trained to check for hydration. You want to check on yourself? Pinch your hand. And if it stays up, then you need to be drinking more water. If that TP of your hand stays up, peaked, that gives you a little bit, just a baseline, if you're hydrated enough or not. I'm telling you, those lips are brutal looking. Brutal. And yet the child is smiling, and I'm like, oh, can you imagine eating anything? If your lips have cuts where they're bled all over, and now you got to eat dry cereal, or worse yet, somebody hands you ketchup on a hot dog, your mouth is going to hurt. There is severe neglect here, and the fact that we aren't seeing neglect charges are just mind-boggling to me. I'll come back over to chat. That's right, Cindy, dehydration. Spelt your name all kinds of wrong. Prime Candy, absolutely, Mama. They deserve full justice. Nobody should be able to get away with hurting babies, especially. Exactly. It's not an easy job, y'all, to be in true crime. It can be very depressing, and that's why most true crimers have a way to try to lighten the mood. We do something a little bit different here and there to break this intensity and heavy energy. And seeing actual action being taken, a step forward, in my opinion, is worth celebrating. Zoo? I always felt he was acting like a martyr in interviews. You nailed it. Just call him Saint Daniel. Almost like hostage. The whole water thing has floored me. Tress says they looked underweight as well. Very pale. Indeed. Right, Nikki? So many of us said that about Daniel from the start. Marlene says, I just did that with my hands, so drinking a big glass of water right now. I mean, there's other ways you can tell, but that's definitely one. Your body gives signs of things, and one of them is the hydration of the lips. Cindy Clark says, Durwood, Kent, Jordan, and the other hillbillies best be prepared, because Daniel M. is going to sing like a bird. Y'all. Now we know Durwood was distancing himself from Daniel because he knew, because you know them locals talk. He knew ahead of time, just like he talked about knowing ahead of time that somebody had done something to the kids, and then he met Daniel and blah, blah, blah. All right. They all go to coffee every morning in some little place that make the best eggs in the world so that they can talk about the morning, right, and what the news is of the day. Durwood, I'll bet you money, got word that the heat was about to heat the kitchen up on Daniel, that the floor was going to get hot. And Daniel's going to be tap dancing. So he was like, I got to get out of the kitchen because my mama taught me to get out of the kitchen when the kitchen's hot. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. So, do you also notice how, like, all of a sudden Daniel dropped off social media so quick, y'all? Same time as Durwood started, oh, I got to get away from Daniel. The timing, this is happening right now for us. The arrest didn't happen till Monday, but you bet your bottom dollar they knew it was coming. They can feel it, they hear it. The news gets around. Prime Candy, Mama D, do you think either one of Jack or Lilly will be found? I don't know what I think anymore. I have no idea. I hope and pray they are. Tammy Cruz, what did I miss? What did I miss? You're going to have to watch replay, sweetheart. I'm just about to jump off here. Tress says, I was a healthcare aide. You can spot certain things from a mile away. Absolutely. Brookie Cookie, this just makes me so scared for those little kids. Who knows just where Daniel's twisted activities lean. I don't know what you're saying in that word, but OMG, what did he do to the kids? I don't know. I don't know. You look and tell me what you think. Can I make this bigger? Let's go ahead and make it bigger. Nope. Unless I take chat down. Hold on, y'all. There. There you go. You tell me what all this is over here. I don't know. I find it very, very disturbing. Indeed, I do. Zoe said, let's truly hope that this is the beginning of everything unraveling and that Jack and Lily's truth is known. I pray that that is true. Allison, maybe she took her ADHD meds late in the day to be taken at night. Raking. I think she was shoveling too. Mama D, thank you for all that you do for all these children, and God bless you. Well, thank you, lovely. I appreciate you, Cindy. I appreciate all of you, whether you're my amazing, gorgeous replay crew or you've been with me in the live. Just know that this is a good step forward in my book. I really honestly think that this is pulling things in the correct direction. Does that make sense? I hope I made sense. I don't know. I feel like it's the tip of the iceberg. I feel like the truth is about to like roll on out. I pray it's so. I pray so. I love you guys so very, very much. Thank you for all my beautiful ones that are hitting the like button, watching it to the end, hanging out with me, working to get Jack and Lily's voice out there and all the missing children. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. We will be going over Thomas Medlin. If he is still missing, I pray to God he's found. But it doesn't look good. There's some, I don't know. It's something weird. It's not making sense to me. I could use your help and he could use your help. He needs his voice heard. And if it gets solved before that, we'll see where we go from there. I love you guys. To the moon and back. Hype me up. Pray for Jack and Lily. The truth is on its way.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemy